Today we are going to speak about ideas and more specifically about validating an idea or a innovation. And first of all, I was thinking earlier, why do people like to innovate? Why we think it's exciting to innovate and to make something new happen? So to discuss about this really exciting topic, I have my lovely co-host here. Hello, Elle.
Hi.
So I'm Pierre, and I have Elle just next to me, and we are going to discuss about ideas and innovation. So Elle, first of all, well, what 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 do you think when I speak? I mean, when you hear ideas or innovation, what comes to your mind immediately?
Okay, let me just start my ideas and
Okay,
rants. I don't know
sure.
if it's a rant, but with a quote by Charles H. Duell.
Mm.
It's from 1899, like a really long time ago. So he said, everything that can be invented has been invented. Well, of course, when you think about it, it's like nowadays, it's not the truth. I mean, he might have said that before because he thought that all the things that is relevant at his time that has made life easier has already been invented. So maybe he said that, but then as we see nowadays, we're still doing constant innovation of things. Even with food, it's like we discover new things as well, which is
About food as well.
yeah,
Do you have an example?
like croffle. Whoever
Oh,
thought of having
croffle.
croffle?
Yes.
Let me just explain what a croffle
Of
is.
course, just
It's
do it.
croissant combined as a waffle, so it's like cooked like a waffle. So it's a croissant with different layers of, the dough and the dough butter. Just the normal croissant, but in the shape of a waffle. So then you put some ice cream in there. Apparently, it originated in Korea. So yeah, there's plenty of innovation. So to answer your question, when I think about innovation, it's something that is opposite of what Mr. Dool has said. It's something that is new, or maybe an improvement of something that exists.
Yes, I totally agree with you, and that's right. Actually, usually innovation, like what you mentioned with the croffle, it's just two existing things you combine together. So waffle, I don't know when it was created, but when it was created, it was from something already existing. And croissant, it was also something like from bread, from pastry. It used to be already in the market. The shape changed over time, and then after, they also combined two existing ideas, concepts, into a new concept.
Innovation.
So they bring to life two things, like it's like when two people have a kid. Basically it's the same, with two existing things. You just combine two ideas and you make them working together. Quaffle, it makes me thinking about something I recently discovered. It was a burrito, which is a sushi, like a borishi or
Sushi burrito?
sushi burrito, yes. Like half burrito, half sushi all together. There's actually a restaurant not far away, where you can buy this, where we
Well,
live. Uh,
now that you're saying that, I haven't tasted croffles, so
mhm.
sushi burritos as well. So we should try that sometime. If you're mentioning food,
And people like when it's new. People like to try something they haven't tried before. Just because the concept is new, you want to have a look. You want to try. It's the same like ice cream. Like everybody knows. I mean, everybody knows, I believe, ice cream. However, when there's a new flavor, a flavor from something you already like, but you never had it as an ice cream, you want to try. And it's the same for everything. They take something, a flavor which already exists, and they bring it into a different kind of food or different recipe. I don't know, matcha used to be on your tea, I believe, or yeah, this kind of flavor. And now you have matcha for everything. You have matcha ice cream, you have matcha croissant, I believe, matcha, a lot, matcha cake, matcha, and so on. And people like when it's new because we are always, I would say, attracted to new things. Like we are curious by nature, and this is probably why we innovation is so important nowadays in our world. It's because when we create something new, of course, you want to make it better. You want to solve a problem as well. But also, when it's a new concept, no one else has seen before, obviously you will have some kind of media, I mean some kind of people will talk about it, like you will have some I mean the news will be spread because wow, this is the first thing, like the first person who invented this or this or this.
Yes, that's right. I think that answers the question as to why do people innovate. And also to piggyback on that, I think when a demand somehow sprouts, and then there are people who wants to place a solution for that,
Mm-hmm.
because and that's how we innovate some things because there is a demand for some things. I the one that I have in mind is a bit is a bit too much of a PG-13, so I'm not gonna say it, but
PG-13.
PG even I don't know, but yeah, it's parental guidance. It's like, let's just say the sexuality of human beings are much more into a lot of things, I would say. So there are inventions about that. It doesn't exist like, let's say, 50 years ago, but it does now because the demand is there. That is a weird example, but that popped in my head. But yeah, it's like, yeah, that's why I think innovation happens.
From a demand or from something that would work, because obviously if you make something simpler and they will have a demand, and your innovation is from something people is already using, it might work. It's like I think iPhone was the first mobile phone with no keys. I believe it was. Before there was like, I mean, there were already some kind of smartphones such as BlackBerry. BlackBerry with the keys. It was a keypad. They just copied the keypad from the computer. But when iPhone came out with just a touch screen, people were like, wow, why? I mean, first, my screen will be dirty, it's how do I type? And nowadays, there's no keypad on a mobile phone, on a smartphone anymore. And before, it was only, those kind of BlackBerry where you had the keypad in the bottom of your phone. And so it was like, oh, look, I'm smart. But now it's just a tactile screen, I mean, a touch screen, and everybody thinks it's normal. But that idea was from something which was already there. The touch screen was already there, the technology was already there, and the mobile phone was already there. You just had to build into a mobile phone.
Yeah, just realize an idea. Well, I think I've seen some posts as well where they thought that, okay, maybe the future would look like this, and surprisingly it was realized because they were saying maybe I could read a book with just a tablet, and then we have Kindle. You see?
Oh yes.
It's like, it's
Indeed.
amazing. It's like, who would have thought that you create a book into something digital and everything is in there. You don't have to carry plenty of books. And you put everything in this one little tablet, and then you can read a lot of things. That's amazing innovation. The idea is already there.
Exactly,
We
but
made
you
it to
just
something else.
yes, you just have to think about, I have the technology. Reading a book is nice, but it's heavy, and reading on the computer is not really pleasant because the screen is not good for reading. What if I use a e-ink screen into a tablet for reading, and you're more focused because that tablet is only for reading, like a book, because people were still using books because you are obviously more productive and it's more pleasant to read on a paper book. And then I said, okay, we will then bring the e-reader, I mean the Kindle and so on, those kind of e-reader to be able to read everywhere on a pleasant screen. And yes, that when it came out in 2000 something, it was really popular, and still nowadays a lot of people are using them, and even I do as well. And yes, you just have to see the need in something, and maybe there's already some existing products, but maybe they are not well made. And even before the iPhone, I believe there were already some kind of touch screen phones, but they were just not as pleasant as the iPhone when they came out. And the iPhone when they came out, I mean, when the iPhone was released, iPhone 1, it was not a good mobile phone. Uh, it didn't have 2G. It didn't have apps. I think you didn't have an app store. It was really basic, but the user experience was fantastic. And this is, they just said, okay, we'll make an iPhone, a mobile phone, average mobile phone. It will have less features than the other mobile phones. It won't have a SD card reader, or the storage will be really small, but the user experience will be just amazing, and that's it. And after they could take advantage from there, and iPhone 2, more people bought it, iPhone 3 more, iPhone 4 more, iPhone 5 more, iPhone 6 way more people acquired an iPhone, and so on. And this is how they did it. They built actually an MVP, which was the iPhone 1, and from there they made a better and better and better iPhone. Because yes, when iPhone 1 and 2 was released, it was not a really good iPhone, like it was so basic, but the user experience was really, really good.
Yeah, so moving on to our next ideas over here. So how do people innovate? It's like, yeah, me too. I'm thinking about how do people innovate? Yeah, for you, Mr. Pierre, how do they innovate?
Well, I believe innovating for innovating is pointless. Innovate something that doesn't need to be changed. Why? Again, it's like I don't know if you remember, probably you do, those kinds of shoes where you had wheels. It's funny for kids to have wheels in their shoes. You could like open. I mean, you had some wheels you could take out from your shoes, and you could just use them as rollers. And again, okay, it's fun, but you can be faster, maybe. But finally, at the end of the day, nowadays people use e-scooters instead. They don't use the wheels in shoes, because it's not really, the shoes are not very good. Usually, they are quite heavy, and it's a bit weird. I mean, maybe it's not for that reason it didn't succeed, but you have some innovations that just, at the end of the day, it's not a success, it's just a failure. And some other innovations, like scooters, are there for a really long time. Like when I was a kid, I had a scooter. But it was only for kids, and we are seeing scooters as, something for a kid. Like adults would never be on a scooter. And when I was a kid, if I would have seen my father on a scooter, I would laugh. Like, why are you not on a scooter? And nowadays, it's really normal for anyone to be on an e-scooter. Like 20 years later, I would never thought when I had my scooter when I was a kid, 20 years or 20 something years, everybody would be on a scooter in the street with an e-scooter. And now it's really normal. But the e-scooter is an innovation. From a normal basic scooter, they built a bigger scooter for adults, and it's electric. So there was an innovation. But the basic, I mean, I believe it's just the way it's built. Obviously, if it was a normal scooter, no one would use it in the street. And they had to wait to have the battery life much better. So that's why the first e-scooter was released in 2015, maybe 16. And then, obviously, thanks to the iPhones and Android smartphones, nowadays everybody has a phone, so it's easy to pay the e-scooter. Before mobile phones, obviously 20 years ago, that innovation wouldn't be able to happen. So sometimes you have to wait another technology to happen to be able to release a new innovation. Like the internet, thanks to the internet, and thanks to the computer, and thanks to the mobile phones, that nowadays everybody has a mobile phone in their pocket, a lot of innovations could be created thanks to this small innovation. So obviously, when the mobile phone started to be popular, no one thought that little phone would bring so many new innovations from it. Like nowadays, you can just order your lunch from your phone. Before, in 10, 20 years ago, people would say, oh no, everybody will still use the normal computer. But no, it's not really, people just like to have something handy to use. And computer is less handy. You have to be at home. You need an internet connection, and a mobile phone, you can use it everywhere. It's much more pleasant. So I believe a good innovation, has, like, the simple it is to be used, the better the success will be. It has to be simpler and not more complex, because sometimes you have something new, a new innovation, but it makes actually the usage of the thing harder to use.
Let me give you an example with that. Actually,
Yes.
I was thinking about it because me and my addiction to watching YouTube videos, and I watched this YouTuber named Moist Critical, and he was sort of making fun of this innovation. Nobody could see me when I'm making these quotation marks in my air quotes. Innovation. It's called Juicero. It's the product is. It squeezes the juice for you.
Oh, the juice?
They have like this pre-packaged like juices, like these pre-packaged juices with fruits in them, I think. And then that Juicero will squeeze the packets for you, and then you have fresh juice every day is what they market it. And then you have to have the app on your phone. It doesn't work when you don't
Oh, you
activate
need
it.
to have apples in.
Apps, that the
Oh,
app is
apps.
Juicero.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have to have the app in your phone. It must be connected to your phone and stuff like that. And then you can't even press other Juicero other packets of fruits in the presser. So this is the kind of innovation that you were saying that is not necessary at all.
Yeah.
So
It's just trying to have something different. Uh, they just build something different, fancy, using technology like wow, like it has to use an application. Wow, fancy, but actually, it's harder to use. So people
That's
prefer
right.
to use the old way, the traditional way,
Yeah.
because it's just much simpler, indeed.
Yeah, I think they're gone now. They're bankrupt. I don't know, but yeah, there are. I think you can look it up actually online with all those innovations that others are thinking of, and yeah, some innovations. You were right. It doesn't make a life easier.
No.
It just it makes it much more complicated, just like Juicero. And I think the video, you would like the video because he was like really going at it, like really just really roasting Juiceros, like why does this even exist? And he's saying that it's for money laundering purposes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he said that, not me. Anyway, going back to
Interesting. It's like some innovations. For instance, the washing machine to wash your clothes. As soon as the first washing machine was out, I don't know when, because for me, my parents have always used the washing machine. Wow, everybody like it was a huge innovation because washing the clothes was painful and it hurts your hands.
That's right.
And you have to use a lot of water. And when you have a family, well, there are a lot of clothes to wash, especially from kids. So it's something. It's like it consumes a lot of time. So nowadays, like definitely everybody has a washing machine or they go to the laundry somewhere. However, I believe the dishwasher came. I mean, it was probably invented more or less at the same time, and 30, 40 years later, it's still not that popular. What I mean by that, obviously restaurants, I mean still not all restaurants are using washing machine. They use different kind of washing machine anyway, like more like professional washing machine. But the everyday washing machine you have at home, well, it depends. There's still not a lot of people using a dishwasher. Sorry, a dishwasher. Washing machine, everybody uses it because like the pen was so huge and the washing machine for clothes is fixing a huge problem. But the dishwasher, however, like I said, even restaurants, not all of them are using them. I know, and I know. I mean, I know some don't. And at home, like in my case, for instance, I don't. I know you don't either. And unless even my family, we were four at home, and only on Sunday, my mom was using the dishwasher. But it's something that if you just have a few plates, well, putting everything in the dishwasher, then putting the soap, waiting for it is much slower than if you just wash the plates and the few cutleries. It takes way more time, the dishwasher. So unlike the washing machine, well, this one, I mean, washing machine is a bit slow too, but at least it fixes a huge problem. It fixes a huge problem. But the dishwasher, it's an innovation. It's not a failure, of course not, but the problem it fixes and what complexity it adds is like, you have to know when it's right to use it.
It's funny. The dishwasher is the idea of dishwasher was invented in 1950, and the washing machine is 1851. So they hated doing the dishes so much they started with that, but not the laundry. Anyway,
So yeah, it's funny, yeah, because the need was, washing the dishes is not that annoying compared to washing the clothes.
That's right. Yeah.
In my case, actually, just a plate, a glass, and a few cutleries. It's not painful to wash. Definitely not.
Yeah. And so moving on to our next topic at hand here. Not really a topic, but a subtopic. Sorry, sir, but I'm having a hard time trying to make out the words here.
Oh yes, because we
What
wrote
does it
a
say?
few notes. So I wrote there, make people creating things. So how people validate ideas, and how do they, yeah, why first of all, it's not just about creating something new, but before that, like what we said, there are a lot of innovations which are not good. I mean, they're not good. They just, people don't need them. It's just new, and yes, and what? And here, like how then we can validate good innovations? How we can, like, is there a pattern, or is there a way? Obviously, you can speak to customers. You can speak to clients to say, hey, I have this idea, how it would help you. But they're not really good at telling you. I mean, people, it's hard for us to, like, probably for me, if someone would have pitched me the idea of a dishwasher, I would have said, yes, it's amazing. But until you use it, it's hard to know if you need it. You have to use it. It's the same when the first touch screen phone was released. I wasn't interested at all. I thought it wasn't for me. because I didn't use it. And it's hard to see, oh, when you're not used to touching a screen, it's a bit awkward the first time. So you believe, oh no, I don't like it. But after you get used to. So it's so hard to validate an idea. It's so hard when you innovate to know this one will be a success, everybody needs it, or this one will just be a huge failure. Obviously, it has to be simple, and if it makes uh, the life of everybody simpler, or the people who need that innovation, if it makes it simpler, yeah, if it's obviously easy to use, if it fixes a painful problem, then obviously you increase way more the chance of success. But obviously there will be a price you have to pay as well. And sometimes the price is too high for what it does. And usually when you create an innovation, because it's the first one and it's expensive to be built because no one else has used it before, it will be quite expensive. And the price usually from the first new innovation, I mean the new brand new thing you make will be quite expensive.
Yeah, just like how expensive
Always,
Juicero was.
yes, and so expensive. And you need actually like people who are so into your idea. Basically, you have to create a movement. You need to have ambassadors of what you create, and they will after use first your product. They will be so into what you build. You will have to create like a fan club, like a group of people,
Believers.
the believers, followers, and then it will go into the same for Apple, for Mac, for iPhone, and for Tesla as well. So the car, first it was only for the really rich people. Only 1% of the people on the planet could buy the Tesla. I mean, not 1%, but it didn't interest a lot of people. And then it went wider and wider and wider. And 10 years later, now it's really common to have one Tesla. I mean, almost. But first, it was the same for the iPhone. iPhone 1 was only like I haven't met anyone who had an iPhone 1 because it was in America, or maybe I don't know, my friends were not into Apple, I believe, not back then. And now like you meet everybody with an iPhone 10, 12, 14 and so on.
Was there a 14?
13 for sure. For 14 I'm just a little bit too much in the future. But the first version you will build of your MVP, you will have just a few people buying it. But you will have to know that the second versions, the third versions, it will be better and better, and you will have more people who will be okay with the price, because what you do will be so, you will solve an amazing problem. And what you have to think also is usually when you innovate, it's nice to be the customer as well. It's nice first to try to fix or to innovate something you have already, like a problem you cannot fix, or because maybe the solutions on the market are just not good, and so you want to create something because for your motivation, I believe that's so strong. If you fix something, you are the customer yourself, you know so well the problem. If I innovate on something, I'm definitely not a customer. I will probably not be the right person to lead the project. So innovation has, for the chance of success, obviously, you have to solve a really painful problem. Your solution has to make the life of everybody simpler. And you have to know the problem yourself so well, so you will be able to lead the problem, the innovation. You will know exactly how to ship the product. And finally, you need a community. You need to create a movement behind, you around your innovation. You have to build like a kind of a
A
group of
following.
ambassadors, of followers. Yes.
But yeah, I do you think that sometimes some innovations, although that product, let's say, is already good, is unnecessary? It's like, like improving a certain product is unnecessary sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, because I have something in mind actually.
Oh,
Like how phones releases new like phone companies releases new phone every year. It's like what change? The
oh
size,
yes.
the
Again, it's new and people like when it's new.
and the following that you created, you're actually a bit forcing them, not really forcing, but more like, oh yeah, you had this one and then we released another one and this is better and it's like it's forcing them to buy it, it's
But
like
the problem, I believe, if phone providers like Samsung and Apple, if they didn't release a new version every year, people will think, oh, maybe they are dead. Maybe they don't care about mobile phones anymore. And they are just, it's like sometimes the Kindle, for instance, they don't release a new version every year because they're on a different market. It's less a trend. But sometimes I think, oh, maybe Amazon just, they just don't care anymore and they will probably maybe stop producing Kindles. It's not the case for the moment, but sometimes you think about it. I know mobile phones is a bit annoying, they release a new version, but yes, sometimes the difference is not a lot,
there's
especially
nothing
nowadays,
much.
because nowadays the iPhone is like really stable. It's because the version they have and what it can handle is really stable. But they know if they don't, they will lose money. They will actually get, it's like just a new version. When you see a software, like in my case, before to download an app on my phone, if that app, the last version was released 3 years ago, I would say, oh, probably I won't download that app because maybe the the person making that app is not, it's dead actually. The person is not dead, but the product is dead, or maybe that person doesn't care, and so it might have a lot of bugs because everything involves so quickly. So we'll probably try to find an app, a much newer application, because by definition we are always looking for something maintained. And when you think the company uh, is not updating the product anymore, it looks like the product is dead, even if it's not.
Well, seeing that we're speaking about big companies here, I believe that they could just release a market with regards to, oh, hey, we will probably not be releasing for the next 2 years because, the world is full of trash. And the more innovation we create, the more
Yes,
we
but
kill the planet Earth. But then that's
that
another
means
topic.
they know no one, you have an iPhone 10, even if your iPhone is getting old, you don't want to buy again an iPhone 10. However, if they have an iPhone 11, even if the changes are just little, you will buy that iPhone 11, even if it's more expensive, and they know that. So they know,
Yeah, they take advantage of that,
I know, but
which is
yes, it's really
ethically,
sad. It's not sustainable, indeed.
yes.
Um,
Sometimes innovation is not sustainable.
Yes, that's why now, like some phone companies and some software companies and even Apple actually, they you can bring your old iPhone and they will buy it for you for like $200, and you can buy a new iPhone from it. So you give your old iPhone. Give, you don't really give because they give you a voucher. Or I don't know if it's real money or just a voucher, and then you buy a more expensive iPhone. So obviously they win, but they say we will recycle your iPhone and so on. So
Yeah.
yes,
So we
it's
basically
better, but at least you don't keep 5 iPhones at home, and usually the 4 old iPhones you don't use them. At least you exchange money. It's it helps to circulate the money. It's better for the economy. They probably recycle your mobile phone, which is really good,
Hopefully.
but it's not perfect. But again, yeah, like a company has, it has, it's there to make money, but also to help everybody else as well. And yeah, it's how economy works.
Yeah.
Basically.
So in the end of the day, do you think innovation is a good thing or a bad thing?
I believe it's good when it fixes something important. Obviously, innovation is also there to make money as well. Like everything. It makes sense because when you have to innovate, it's hard. You spend a lot of time, and so you want to be. You need something to come back for you. It's like a way to say thank you for your innovation. So it makes sense. Innovation. Otherwise, why you would innovate if there's no, you are not a charity. You have to make money. That's why you have to innovate in a way you help people. And so people are ready to give you money because it's something really good. It's like the Polaroid. Polaroid is not really something, wow, amazing. The quality of the photos of the Polaroid, the photos were not the quality it's not good. It's not really good. Like, you see a bit of the pixels. However, you have the photo immediately. And people are ready to pay a lot of money for that Polaroid just because they have the photo directly. They don't have to wait. No, I know with our mobile phones, we take the photo, we see the photo directly. But we cannot touch the photo, which is different. So people still like it. Although nowadays it doesn't have the same traction as before. But what else? Another innovation. Even the first camera was like, why do people need a camera? Why do people have to take photos? But actually, people like it because it's about memories. It doesn't fix a painful problem because if I don't have a camera, my life will probably be the same. However, I enjoy taking photos, and when I see photos of me when I was 5, I like it, and it's memories. And if I have a kid, I will take photos of him or of her because it's normal. So camera is a really nice innovation. It doesn't, it fixes also some problems because thanks to the camera, it brought a lot of other innovations such as CCTV, a camera for films, and so on. It's not just to take photos. So just from the camera for taking pictures, now you have a camera for everything. And it was a foundation of a lot of things. It's the same for the first telephone. First, people thought, oh, a telephone? Why? I have to call someone? No, I don't need. But actually, yes, and now people love it. And the same for a mobile phone. First, people thought, oh, I have my telephone at home. Why people want to call me when I'm in the shop or in the street? I don't need that. Before, I believe only, the people who used to have a telephone in their car was like the golden boys, like the people working in Wall Street, like brokers. When you are obviously, when you are working in Wall Street. And you need obviously a telephone because you have to be aware of the stock market. And the stock market moves really fast. So that was something that fixes a really important problem because I will lose a lot of money if I'm not aware that this company is about to bankrupt, or that money I have to invest a lot of money into that company because now it's a really hot market. But you have to be aware. So the phone was fixing that problem for them first. And then after, more and more people wanted to have a phone in their car. After it was for police officers and so on. And now, obviously, we don't need a fixed telephone in our car anymore. It sounds really strange. But we want to have a mobile phone all the time because even when I work, I like to spend time. I feel that I use more my time when I'm on my phone. But before, we just used to be without anything, and that was fine too. So sometimes an innovation can be a bit too much, like mobile phones. Sometimes we want to be a bit like free and disconnected. but at the same time, it depends. I mean, always, like, at the same time, it adds a lot of value to your life as well. But innovation is always, usually it's good, but it depends of how you use it and the way you use it. And like everything, like food, like everything in your life, it's about the amount you use it. Too much or not enough, well, not enough, I don't know, but too much is always, usually it might be it might go against you.
Well, to answer my own question about innovation, well, I think innovation could also equate to inventions and other things. And I think that when it comes to innovation, I think everybody should follow this. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay, just because you can do this doesn't mean you should. But innovation is good, especially on the medical industry. You see, I think I've heard this before where they take all your all those fighter cells that you have. I think white blood cells is what they're called, and then they try to genetically modify it outside of your body, and they reinsert it to you, and then they're much more stronger, and then they kill the diseases that you have. That is a very good innovation, I think. When innovation is used in a proper way, especially in the medical industry, you know how insulin is innovated and was actually patented for $1 because the inventor wanted everybody to not suffer with diabetes, but then apparently capitalism ruined everything in America, but in other countries they didn't. But it's like innovation is good when the purpose is good.
When the purpose and when the usage is good too.
That's right.
Obviously.
So that's my that's to answer my question with regards to, is innovation good or bad?
Yeah.
Well, like most things, there are bad side of things and there are good side as well. But mostly innovation is good. Yeah.
Yes.
It's good because we are moving. We're moving every day.
Indeed.
We're moving forward, and then there's always new demand every day. So that's why innovation is good. And I think that other people who are creative enough, who think of new things to make solution to a problem, is that they're heroes.
Yeah, definitely. But again, like, the only limit we have is the limit we have in our head, is the limiting beliefs. Like, everything is possible at the end of the day. But again, because like nearly everything you can innovate on everything, it depends also on the ethic. Sometimes innovation is used in a bad way. You were speaking about technology innovations in the medical industry, and that's really interesting too, because a lot of things are good for you, but it's like the genetic test and 23andMe.
23andMe, I discovered that I'm part dog. I don't know.
But like, everybody's interested into them, but it's really good. That's a good innovation, but now it's used also, like, people won't believe the doctor anymore, and they will even believe they have a disease they don't have, and so they will ask a surgery for something they don't even have, maybe. Or maybe they will commit a suicide because they believe they might die in 10 years because of something they might have, which is not even sure. So again, it's really 23andMe and those kind of genetic tests. It's really amazing innovation. But again, everybody is different, and some people are weaker than others, and we have, sometimes we are more emotional. We might react differently from different kind of news, and that's sometimes a problem as well.
Yeah. The 23andMe is I think I don't know I think the point of it is to know your ancestry or something, but apparently it had a bad effect. Like, oh my god, my father is actually not my father. That's how that is.
That's what. Yeah. Again, we are also very curious by nature, humans. Yeah, we are, and so we use sometimes innovations to dig too much. Sometimes, I mean, to dig. I mean, sometimes we learn about something we were not supposed to learn, and sometimes it might ruin your life actually, and it was better not to know about it.
Yeah, that's right. Some innovations are evil, let's just say that. But then let me just piggyback on some other things as well. We innovate so much. Oh, look at this. Polyester, not polyester actually, but made from bamboo shirt, whatever it is, and oh, sustainable stuff like that. Clothing company claims, and then afterwards it has a hole, and people will think of it as, oh, I can no longer use this clothing. So those clothing goes to an underdeveloped country, and so they try to resell it again, and then some who are not in good condition are gonna end up in the sea, and then people are trying to innovate a solution for that when in fact we created the problem in the first place. It's
I
like
totally agree. So we create new solutions from problems that were not supposed to happen at the first place.
that's
So
right.
sometimes from a first innovation, it creates more problem than it fixes the initial problem. Even the internet actually and mobile phones. Now we have to buy applications to be more productive and to not use our phone during a specific amount of time or time frame, because otherwise we are too much addicted to our mobile phone. So there are a lot of applications which are not free. They help you a lot, and so the people say, wow, this app is amazing, it helps me
Innovation.
to be more productive. But the mobile phone, if you didn't have it, or that kind of mobile phone, if you just had a keypad mobile phone, well, it would have been the same. It was a problem you introduced in your life.
That's right. It's like
It's the same for cigarettes. You smoke, and
another
so
innovation.
and now you have new innovations and new things, and even e-cigarettes, and a lot of different similar alternative things. But yeah, I don't know if it doesn't fix any problem, but it doesn't solve any problems either. I mean, yeah, it's a different kind of topic anyway. But
Yeah.
again, nowadays people eat worse and worse. They don't eat good food, and so there are new innovations, a lot of applications as well, to eat less, to be careful with your diet. But actually, it's easy. Like at the first place, I don't know. Sometimes an innovation doesn't innovate that much. It's because we end up in a different kind of lifestyle. We have
With different
to go
problems.
back to the problems we didn't have 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, it's, I think sometimes some innovations are, as I said, evil. It's like, oh wow, we have egg shortage here in a place, so I'm gonna make fake eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's evil. Yeah, and people eat that. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I have seen actually fake eggs, and they look like the real eggs.
Well,
And it's even, apparently, it's like it's bad for yourself, it's bad for your body. And it looks so like an egg, but it's only sugar and chemical.
gelatins probably.
Yes, and it's not an innovation. It's like it's hard, especially in the food market. Well, it's a huge industry,
I know.
and you have this kind of hamburger where, I mean, those kind of meat actually, they taste like real meat. They have the same level of moist. It's like you ask for a medium
Rare.
beef steak
Yeah.
or rare. However, it's not meat, and you don't even know what you eat. Is it a good innovation or a bad innovation? It's hard to tell. It's really
Yeah.
hard, and they spent a huge amount of money to create the fake meat. It depends. I'm not a user. I'm not a customer, so I cannot say if it's a good innovation or bad. Maybe it's good in a sense, because definitely we have to find a way to get rid of. To eat less meat. obviously we will always eat meat. I'm vegetarian, but I don't want to eat meat at all. But some people, they want to continue eating meat, and maybe in their country they cannot eat meat, but they have the feeling I have to eat meat. So people need, I mean, it's a demand. Even if they don't need it, it's a demand. So they try to fix that demand of what people ask. So maybe it's a good innovation is in a sense. It will produce money. So at least it circulates the money, and that's not too
Yeah.
bad. It will create new jobs as well, so it's not bad either. Maybe thanks to those kind of those labs who try to find the perfect fake meat, maybe they will invent from there another innovation, because usually when you are looking from one innovation, and when you bring one innovation up, it will bring a lot more innovations from it. It's like the mobile phone, like what we said, the apps, like the internet. That innovation brought thousands and thousands and even millions of new innovations. Like the e-scooter we spoke about, the battery and about the way we can pay, it's an innovation from existing innovations. So even if the first innovation is not really successful, or maybe successful, but the idea behind is not really ethic, or maybe it might be bad in the long term, it might bring better innovations thanks to that one.
Yeah, yeah. But when you think about it, innovation is such a positive word. I wouldn't even want to call those fake eggs an innovation, to be honest. They're just evil, I would say.
Do you mean the word like
The word is too positive. You see, like
oh,
innovation, creating
innovate?
something good.
Usually when we hear innovation, yeah, it's positive.
Yes.
This is the feeling I have.
So
Yes.
so let's just say that those bad things are just evil. They're pure evil. Anyway, do you want
So
to
for
say
you, the word should be more neutral.
the innovation word?
Yes, it should be a word which means the same, but it should be more like neutral word, like
Well,
not positive, not
leading towards
negative, but
yeah.
just
Well, it's just a word, but then when you think about some words like happy, you think it's like wow, it's positive. But when you think about innovation, well, you think that it's positive as well, because innovation is just something that it sparks creativity and stuff like that. But then
and
up to
creativity is positive
yes,
usually too.
yes, but
Yeah,
yeah, creating a fake egg is also creativity. So
it
it's like
is.
wow. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just better to call those bad things evil and unethical.
I mean, they're not bad.
Fake actors
Oh
bad.
yes, yeah, maybe they are. I mean, at least now, from what they are made, they are really bad for health. So yes, they are bad, especially if those eggs are sold as normal eggs. That's really
right.
bad, because that's a lie.
That's
If
misleading.
you're aware that it's a fake egg, like when you are aware you buy a fake meat, you are aware of it. So
Yeah.
at least you know what you. I mean, still, when I buy a fake beef steak, I'm not sure what I'm eating. A lot of soy,
You'll
something.
never know.
But at least you're aware. But those fake eggs,
They're evil.
I know sometimes they are sold as normal eggs, and you just buy uh, something like rubbish, actually. And so it's the same for honey, actually. Some honey, I mean, when you buy honey, it's hard to know if it's, I mean, there are a lot of sugar, but some honey are just colorant, I mean, color, they just color some sugar, and the substance it looks like honey, but it's not honey at all. It's just sugar, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But again, it depends how you sell it as well. I believe honesty is also crucial when you innovate. You have to be honest with the people you sell your product, because if you sell something really innovate, but actually it's not an innovation and it's not ethic, and it's what you say to the customers of what you sell is not what your product is, then there's a problem.
That's right. Yeah. Innovation is such a big word, I would say.
Yes.
Anyway, do you have any more to say, sir?
I don't have, no, I don't believe I have anything else to say. Now, obviously, people use innovation words also as a branding, or, it's normal. We are all human, and we know when we say, oh, like creativity, innovation, new, special, it's, we know when we use them. I mean, me too, I feel a bit, oh, what is it? Because we are curious, we want to know that. So I understand why people use them. It makes all sense. But when there's no innovation behind it, when there's nothing behind it, then yeah, you shouldn't call those words, I mean, those products under those words. Again, yeah, be honest and fix. I mean, it has to be a real innovation, but not just innovate for innovating, but innovate because it's the only way to do.
Innovate with a good cause.
Exactly. That's it for me.
And that's it for me.
Goodbye.